Hey, Assalamualaikum. In this video, we will understand about the causes of aging. So, what is the aging? Number one thing is that we will understand. So, here is the notes. We will understand through the notes. But first of all, we will understand about the introduction of the aging. So, aging is itself is a disease, but the aging is appearance as a phenotype. The phenotype shows the aging. So how it is possible and how to identify. So let's understand. Number one thing is that the less agility, and on the other hand the hair loss or the premature gray hair or gray hair. On the other hand, basically your speaking will be down regulate and not speaking well. So that is why. On the other hand, the important thing you should need to understand, the eyesight weak. On the other hand, basically you can think about that, the skin wrinkling of the skin and other type of disease like type 2 diabetes mellitus and cancer itself is the aging disease. On the other hand, a lot more things basically is the hair loss, and your muscle will be loose, your bones will be basically weak. So that is the problem. So in this way, basically here is we will understand about the causes of aging. So number one thing is that the insulin spike by overeating. So insulin will spike. So we will understand through the notes which are showing in the screen. So the insulin again and again spike will lead to cause many problems. How it is possible? Let's understand about that. Insulin spike by eating sugary material, the sugar daily, and overeating lead to insulin resistance. So insulin resistance. In this insulin resistance, so in this the glucose will not enter into the tissue, and in this the hyperglycemia will occur. Hyperglycemia means the high level of the glucose in your blood. High level of the glucose in your blood will bind with the low density lipoprotein, and low density lipoprotein bind to oxidize the low density lipoprotein. On the other hand, activate the reactive oxygen species, and oxidation will lead to activate the oxidative stress, and in this the endothelial dysfunction will lead to cause arteriosclerosis. But anyhow, the resistance, the basically insulin resistant to body not respond to sugar consumed. So in this way, the high level of the blood glucose will also damage the artery and cause the cardiovascular disease like the arteriosclerosis or the heart attack. So anyhow, this is the insulin spike by overeating will lead to cause aging also. How it is possible? Because the reactive oxygen species will produce more and more. On the other hand, because the conjugated molecule will be formed, the glycoprotein, the glycolipid formation, the glucose will bind in the blood with the low density lipoprotein and oxidized itself. On the other hand, the protein, in this way, whenever the conjugated molecule formation will lead to not function properly that protein like albumin protein. So in this way, the aging will progress. mTOR by chronic eating. So wherever you will eating more and more the chronically, so the mTOR pathway will activate. The mTOR pathway will maintain that cell which that is damaged and able to recycle, and autophagy will occur, but it will not occur. How it is possible? Because the mTOR pathway basically maintain the cell and inhibit the autophagy and inhibit the recycle of the damaged DNA containing damaged mitochondria and DNA and basically the other organelles. In this, the mTOR pathway will proliferate and progress that basically will lead to cause problem. So in this, the chronic eating provides the energy-rich condition within the cell to activate the mTOR while stop AMPK and PGC1 alpha to cancer. So in this, it will cause cancer because the inhibition of the PGC1 alpha and AMPK pathway, which that is very important for activation of the SIRT1, 2, 3 different type of the stress responsive gene, which that rejuvenate our body will not activate. So due to the overeating and chronic eating, so that is activate the mTOR pathway. mTOR pathway is not good. Next is the chronic toxin intake. So this is the basically is the whenever you will smoking, so nicotine. So smoke is also contain different type of toxin like the plastic, tar, etc. So a lot more toxin and the free radical reactive oxygen species which that enter into your blood and also damage your lungs, and in this way not easily provide the oxygen through the lungs to the body. So anyhow, this is the important things. And in this way the alcoholism, methamphetamine and other type of drug, which that is cocaine, heroin, marijuana and the other type of nicotine smoking and a lot more things basically, and a more refined sugar, which that is also drug type. So contaminated unboiled water and fertilizers as well as plastics, which that also damage your body and will lead to cause aging, because the chronic stress is bad while the short duration of the stress is the rejuvenation program. Stress, anxiety and depression, which that is the major cause, and it can be occur due to the overconsumption of the sugar. So the intake of the too much sugar, which that basically lead to cause stress, and that stress will lead to appearance of the stress and it will affect your brain. Why? Because the insulin resistance will lead to not provide the glucose to your brain, even your eyes. So in this way the insulin resistance will lead to cause eye damage, the brain neurodegeneration, and will lead to cause anxiety, stress and depression. But the anxiety, stress and depression can be progressed due to the job stress, work burnout. Work burnout means the input whenever you will give more while the output will be less in the form of salary. Less reward, no care to work to cause worker to cause stress. Chronic stress activate the sympathetic nervous system. So the sympathetic nervous system is a fight and flight response. This fight and flight response is due to the stress, anxiety and depression will lead to activate the adrenal gland to produce the cortisol hormone. That cortisol will lead to activate and will lead to more and more stress, but in this way it will lead to increase the glucose level in your blood, and in this the insulin resistance will be possible, but the glucose level increase, and in this the insulin level also increase due to the stress. So the basically system muscle and increase the glucose in blood to spike insulin and obesity spike spike cortisol to glycogenolysis, and the proteolysis can be possible. In this way your muscle wasting process on the other hand, it is known as the sarcopenia will occur. On the other hand, the important thing is that proteolysis means the protein breakdown will occur due to the our production of the cortisol. So cortisol is important. It should be produced during the morning time, but during night time it should be decreased. Why? Because our body should be relaxed. So that is why during the daytime we should work hard. So that is why the cortisol hormone production during the daytime is very important. But on the other hand, the cortisol hormone is also important for the immune system function properly, but this should be daytime, not night time. So anyhow, see in the next video for this time. Bye. I hope you make sense about that. Basically the causes of aging is insulin spike by overeating, mTOR by chronic eating, and the chronic toxin intakes and stress, anxiety and depression. These 4 point is very important to understand the cause of aging. So see in the next video for this. Allah Hafiz.